Adam, thank you for being here today. I'm so excited to talk to you and to learn a little bit about Peak Performance Digital. So, to start us off, why don't you tell us about you and your company?
My company is called Peak Performance Digital. We're a web consulting firm, and we provide websites and web solutions to help you run, grow, and market your business.
You build websites and you work on digital marketing. So, if we're talking about digital marketing, especially for small businesses, what's your most important tip about digital marketing and what should every small business owner know?
My biggest tip is that people should think about their business holistically and strategically instead of just looking at different tactics that they can take to move things forward. So instead of saying, oh, cool, well, this month I'm going to start doing an email newsletter. And then the month after that, getting distracted by something shiny. Make sure you're looking at all the different things that you're doing and put together a sound strategy so that you can keep pushing forward instead of going forward 2 steps and then back 2 more.
Is it better, I guess, to go generally broad or to really just focus, on a newsletter, a website, social media?
You would think that going broad would help you get the most clients because then you've got this huge field of people to attract. But the truth is actually the opposite. If you try to attract everybody, you attract nobody. So really laser focusing in on that one particular customer that you're trying to work with is going to be much more effective than just saying, I'm going to attract a broad audience.
For those small and newer businesses who are focused on growing their businesses digitally, what should they do? Where should they start? What advice do you have for them?
The first thing I always tell people is to get your website in order. A website for a lot of small businesses acts as a salesperson. It acts as your marketing collateral. So if that's not in order and people start going to find out more about you, or you start driving a bunch of traffic to a website that doesn't really represent you or your clients or what you do, then you're doing yourself a big disservice. Just like if you had a storefront and you hired terrible salespeople that turned everybody away at the door, you don't want your website to do the same thing. Then you start driving traffic to it. And there's a bunch of different ways that we can do that really all depend on the kind of industry that you're in, the kind of clients that you're trying to attract. You want to pay attention to the analytics on your website to find out what's working and what isn't. Um, if you've got a special sale up that you think is awesome, but nobody's buying it, that's something that your analytics can tell you. Having a website and any digital marketing strategy is not just to set it and forget it. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes an eye to understand what you're looking at, and it takes effort and money.
For businesses that are newer or similar to mine, where you're trying to really figure out what your web presence is going to be and get your footing, what advice do you have for those businesses?
If you're a small business that has more time than money, I really suggest trying to go the DIY route if you're technically inclined at all. If you're not and you need to pay somebody, then we're happy to help you. Once you've got a little bit of traction under them, then yeah, absolutely. Let's go whole hog. But until then, start off with some of the DIY stuff. There's some great tools out there now. Webflow is fantastic. Squarespace is good. Shopify, even Wix is okay for a business in their first year or two. I always advise people to take a step back and just think in more general terms. What is it that you're selling? What kind of offer do you have out there for your customers? If you don't have a compelling offer and no one wants to buy it, it doesn't matter what you do. You're just not going to be successful. So make sure that you've got that offer and it's very compelling. And then make sure you understand who it is that you're selling to. Just like playing a game of darts, you're always aiming for that bullseye. And you might hit it every now and then, but you're going to hit the stuff around it too, more often than not. But if you don't have something to aim for, you're just shooting darts at a wall and you don't really know what your target is. So figure out who that client is that you ideally want, go for them, and then craft your message with your offer and your client in mind. I suggest if you're going to spend any money in the beginning, spend that money on a good copywriter, because they're experts at this stuff. They can really help you craft a message that sells people on your products and services, and that copy is going to follow you for a really long time.
You've got the website up. It's copywritten and ready to go. how do you actually drive the traffic there so you can start selling stuff and doing business?
Think about who that ideal customer is and put yourself in front of where you think they're going to be. If that means that you need to start going to PTA meetings, put yourself in those PTA meetings. Start posting on social media. Make sure that your friends and family all know what it is that you do. So not necessarily that you're going to attract new clients from posting on social media, but most of your clients are still going to come from referrals, and those referrals come from your friends and family. And then also, join your chambers of commerce, especially if you're a local business. That local chamber of commerce is a great resource for you for networking, but also for general business information and growth. Once you've exhausted all that traditional stuff, then think about spending money on the digital marketing. So there's really two paths you can go down. One is SEO and content marketing. So that's all about creating content and making it optimized for Google. And then the other path is your paid advertising. And that's, paying Google, paying Facebook, all those different things to get your business in front of the customers. So real quick, just a very brief, primer on the SEO and content stuff. Write your content consistently. Do it 2 to 3 times per month. Put something out there. Google's going to pick up on that stuff eventually and start promoting you, because Google always has it in their heads that they want your site to be relevant to a searcher. The other part of it is the paid advertising, and this is kind of like turning a faucet on and off. You throw money at stuff, you get leads in. Sounds great, but it gets super expensive super quick. So Google, Facebook, they make it very, very easy for you to run ads, but they make it even easier for you to throw your money away. You spend money like this without seeing any results. Once you start getting to a certain point, and that's usually around the $1,000 mark for most industries, then you start getting results, and then you'll plateau again. Pay an agency to do this for you. They usually take about a 20 to 30% commission off of your monthly ad spend. But that money is something that you'd be wasting twice that if you tried to do it yourself.
If you're thinking that you want to sort of go down this digital marketing route, you've exhausted everything else, and you're thinking of hiring an agency, how do you even start evaluating if you don't have the background to really understand maybe what you're being sold?
So you want to talk to several of them and make sure that they understand your industry, make sure that they understand your goals. If during the first conversation or two, they start throwing ideas and tactics and technologies and tools at you, they're probably not a good fit, because everything, again, really needs to start from a strategy if it's going to work for you long term.
Is strategy something that your agency, Peak Performance, can help with?
We start all of our engagements with a strategy session. And some of our clients we work with purely on a strategic basis, and they have other vendors that come in to do things like their website or their social media marketing. Other people come in and we'll do a strategy session for them once a year, just to make sure that they stay on track. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. We'd be doing you a disservice if we didn't come in with a strategy centric approach, and your business wouldn't be growing if we just came in and tried to sell you a website or sell you paid advertising or in email marketing strategy or in email marketing tactic. We've really got to come in and think about how this stuff impacts your business.
Is there anything else that I should know and the people watching this should know before, they take all these great ideas you've shared and start running with them?
There's a whole world. There's a ton of tools out there, shiny objects, fun gadgets and gizmos that you can be buying and using. And most of them actually are effective if you use the right ones for your business. I would say don't get caught up on the new shiny thing of the day. Again, do those boring things day in, day out, and that's what's actually going to move the needle for you.
For anybody who's watched this who wants to connect with you or thinks they are ready for a digital marketing agency or wants to learn more about Peak Performance Digital, where do they find you and how do they connect with you?
Peakperformancedigital.com, that's our website. It has links to all of our social media on there. My email address is adam@peakperformancedigital.com. If it is something that you want to embark on, come, schedule a 30-minute appointment with me. There's no cost at all to it. And, if we're not a good fit to work together, at least you'll come away knowing a little bit more and maybe having some direction that you can take on your own, or that you can take to, a company that is more right sized for you.